Astra was directed by James Gray and stars Brad Pitt, who plays the astronaut Roy McBride. After Pitt's character discovers that his father, whom he believed to be dead for years, might actually still be alive, he must go on a mission to Saturn in search for some truths. I'm a huge fan of both Brad Pitt and space movies. I always thought that Brad Pitt was perfect to play a character who's an astronaut in a film, so when I saw him casted as Roy McBride in Ad Astra, I could not help myself but to be so excited. Ad Astra is one of those films that will be remembered as divisive. Some people will find this movie very boring, and others will think it's riveting and informing. I do see both sides after catching Ad Astra this past Saturday. This is not the most rewatchable movie, but it does have some elements that do make me think about it constantly, which I really appreciate. And those are the types of movies I like. If I continue to talk with someone about the same movie days after I've seen it and think about it constantly, that will ultimately go down as a movie I really enjoyed. There is plenty to talk about when it comes to Ad Astra, starting with Brad Pitt. He is the ideal actor for a role like this. You could look at other actors like Ryan Gosling, Matthew McConaughey, who have played astronauts before, but Brad Pitt brings us a different perspective on the character of an astronaut. I thought he was great here. He probably isn't good enough to get nominated for an Oscar, but he was really good and I think deserves to at least get some consideration. One of the other best aspects in Ad Astra is the world building. Some of the things they do in this movie to build the world for the audience is so unique and unlike anything else I've seen before in the cinema. Along with Pitt and the world building, I thought there were about 4 to 6 scenes that I will look back on at the end of this year and say, those 4 to 6 scenes could definitely be put in the top 40 conversation for best 40 scenes of the year. Some of these were so intense. I've never seen anything else like it, but I was blown away. I don't know how they did some of these scenes. You have this one action scene that takes place on the moon. I kept thinking to myself, why has nobody else done something like this before? It was so much fun to watch on the screen. This is a movie you want to watch in IMAX for sure. Although, if you take out those 4 to 6 scenes, this movie would come across as kind of boring. It's not the most investing movie. It goes from really intense and gripping to slow-paced and not much going on. Just characters talking, some voiceover. It's not exciting when we're away from those great intense scenes. So I do see the other side to the story, but the movie has so many layers and it does enough for me to constantly keep thinking and talking about it that I ignore all of these slower paced scenes and look right ahead to everything else that was great in the movie. The film's uneven pacing is a negative for me though, and the ending was a bit too anticlimactic for my liking. They could have done something more special. For how good some scenes are in Ad Astra earlier in the movie, this ending does not pay off as much as I wanted it to, which was a bummer. The first hour to hour and a half do make up for that, but they could have fixed the pacing and this anticlimactic ending if they utilized the world building and action more in this movie. I feel like there were some missed opportunities in Ad Astra for how many great scenes there were. Had they had even more great scenes in the film, this would have been close to a perfect movie in my opinion. So at the end of the day, in Ad Astra, there were some missed opportunities that could have elevated this movie from good to great. Still, Brad Pitt is awesome in the film. The world building is on point. I love that aspect of the movie. I'm giving Ad Astra an 80%, a movie that you should experience in IMAX. I forgot to mention just how good the movie looks. The visuals here are some of the best of 2019. It probably will win Best Visual Effects at the 2020 Oscars. There's a lot of good things to take away from Ad Astra, and I recommend you see this one. Alright, for those of you who have also seen Ad Astra, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. If you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.